Hey guys, what's going on? Super Cool Isaac here, bringing you guys some Ghost gameplay today. And I want to say first off, this gameplay is really bad. It's I think I go maybe like 30 and 28 and win with like 15 seconds left, so it's like a 10-minute free for all. And I picked this game because it shows off a number of the things that I was going to be talking about, mostly the maps and spawns. Now I know this is FFA, and that spawns and free for all have historically been pretty bad, but some of these are just downright stupid. Like I spawn, take 2 steps to the right, die, and spawn, take 2 steps to the right, get blown up by an IED. all this stuff. I'm watching people spawn right in front of me. All this stuff. Anyways, but what I wanted to talk about with this video here is I was going to talk about some of the things that I do not like about Ghost, some of the things, some of the problems with Ghost, and then I think in the video either tomorrow or one of these days here I'm going to make a video talking about the positive things. So I don't want it to be all negative, but there are a number of things that I've started to notice after playing the game for, I think I probably got like 4 days played or whatever on this game already over the 2 accounts. So I've put my time into the game. I've played tons of multiple game types, so I know what I'm talking about for the most part. The number one problem with the game, in my opinion, is the maps. The maps, maybe they were building them for next gen, and this game is entirely like a test run for the next gen consoles, and it kind of feels like it because these maps are way too big, and it's not just the size. The maps have no flow. There is so much open. It feels like everything revolves around the outside of the map, and then the middle of the map is usually just a bunch of junk thrown around, and people will generally hang around the outsides of the map. There's no real incentive to go towards the middle unless you're playing a game like Domination, and even then people generally don't go really towards B-Dom. They kind of hang around the outside, camp their home flags and stuff like that. So the maps are really, really bad. I could go more in depth on that stuff, but if you've played it, you know what I mean. There's maybe a handful of good maps. I think Warhawk is a pretty good one, and I don't know. There's not many of the maps in this game that work well for 6v6, and the fact that they don't even have ground war as a possibility just makes it a million times worse. So I'm not gonna go ahead and say that they'll be bad for next gen, but as of right now, they're pretty bad. Footsteps. Not everybody has a headset. I'm aware of that, but the footsteps, even without like amplify, they're really, really loud. So that makes dead silence pretty much necessary if you're going to be playing against anybody who's halfway decent. They're going to sound whore you to death if you're not using dead silence, and the people who are using amplify are going to hear you no matter what. So dead silence is pretty much necessary, and then amplify is pretty much necessary to combat other people using amplify. As stupid as that sounds, but if they hear you from 20 feet away, you better have heard them first. Otherwise, they're probably going to get the drop on you, and they're going to kill you. And that goes into another thing about this game that's kind of annoying for me, at least, is I feel like there are so many perks that you have to take, that they pretty much force you to take unless you want to get BS'd by the game through footsteps, where it's the dead silence and amplify. They're not obviously not mandatory, but I kind of feel this way. Focus is also absolutely mandatory. If you want to be doing well consistently, focus is going to help you out immensely in that category. So that's 6 points out of your, I think, 8 points standard. And if you don't take a secondary grenade and lethal or whatever, then I think you get 11 points. So you really only have 5 points to work with. And then if you run an assault rifle, 9 times out of 10 you're going to be taking Stalker. So that gives you a whopping 2 points to be spending on other perks. There doesn't leave a whole lot of room for much perk variety. Everybody, for the most part, is running almost the same perks, with a little bit of variation here and there. Some people don't care about silent whoring; they run Marathon or Scavenger or something like that. But for the most part, the perks are very. Everybody runs the same thing, so that's what I'm trying to say. The game is extremely assault rifle dominant. It's not just due to the maps. Well, I mean, the maps are a big reason why people pick assault rifles for the most part, because the maps are bigger, they're longer sight lines, you want to just sit back and play a little more defensive, all that stuff, but the assault rifles are actually significantly better, like overall as a whole. The submachine guns probably have 2 or 3 being the MTAR and maybe Vector or Vepr, depending on your preference, maybe the Bison or something, but those are only good for the most part at relatively close ranges. All the assault rifles have very high minimum damages, so most of them will kill with like 4 or 5 bullets across the map, as far as you can see, and they kill relatively fast up close, all that stuff, especially with Stalker and all this stuff, they're built in. Alright, I apologize there. My mic kind of cut out, so I don't remember exactly where I left off. But I was talking about assault rifles being the more dominant weapon class, and that kind of they're much better than everything else. To put it bluntly, I guess. Snipers are okay. Shotguns suck. LMGs are all right. They're not great. The damage drop off seems like it's way too fast on them. SMGs do pretty much nothing at long range. Pistols are pretty bad all around. I don't know, but for the most part, the game is very assault rifle dominant, which I don't really like. I feel like they could have done a much better job of balancing the guns for the maps. Maybe give the SMG some longer range. Maybe make the ARs have a little bit more drop off, so that they don't do quite as much at range, or give them something. I don't know, but that just doesn't seem like they did a very good job as far as that goes. The kill streaks, both support, specialist, assault, all seem to be kind of dumbed down. Actually, no, I'll take that back. Support is actually quite good in this game. Compared to Assault and Specialist, they really dumbed it down, and as much as people are going to be whining that, oh, we can't give everybody, 30-something perks for getting, 8, 10 kills in a row in one life, why not? What exactly are you giving them? Are you going to give them that extra attachment that costs 3 points? That's one of the perks. You can't add that on. You can't give somebody an extra lethal, an extra tactical. All these other perks, and there's a bunch of 1.1s that do pretty much nothing, like on the go. Are you kidding me? You're going to complain about that? So pretty much what you're giving people is you're giving people Quick Draw Stalker, like Deadeye, and stuff like that in a game where the kill times are pretty quick anyways, so you're going to die. Like, being on Specialist isn't going to help you really from getting shot in the back somewhere, which half your deaths in this game are from that anyways, so that just didn't seem to make a whole lot of sense to me. I don't know, it just didn't make sense. Assault is very dumbed down. It seems like there's only a handful of really viable options, and even then, they're more like lower, mid-tier. Like, I guess the Guard Dog is okay, the IMS is okay, the Helicopter's alright sometimes, the Maniac's kind of fun, but it has some problems to it, and, the upper tier ones are really just not worth it. The Loki for 15 kills, I think I've had it get me 6 kills once. For getting 15 kills in the life, I got 6 kills from what is essentially like an AC-130 that drops care packages and juggernauts. It's absolutely terrible, and the assault streaks just don't seem, they're just not worth it. And I'm okay with them making the game more gun on gun. It happened. I mean, I'm very okay with that actually. I like the direction that they took it, but I think that they made support too good. I think they either needed to raise the requirements for how many points it took to get the support stuff, or they had to do something with tweaking the assault things, the assault streaks, and make them a little bit better or something like that. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. There were a few more things that I had as well. I had a whole bunch of things written down, and I didn't want to go super in depth on a lot of things, but the game has some problems. It's fun a lot of the time, but very often, at least for the last couple of days, I've been not having a ton of fun. It's mostly due to the few larger problems. Footsteps, maps. Maps is one thing they can't really fix. Footsteps and like weapon balancing and stuff like that, they can do. I think the weapons are actually really balanced, and that's the thing. I'm not sure I really mentioned this. There's no one. The MSBS is probably the best gun in the game, but aside from that, there's a bunch of arguments as to what's the second best gun, what's the best SMG, what's the best assault rifle outside of the MSBS. The problem is just that, like, weapon class to weapon class, they don't really balance out very well. The ARs are very, very dominant. So that's just what I was trying to get at. I don't know that I'm gonna spend the last minute of this thing talking, so if you guys have anything else you want me to talk about, please let me know in the comments. Anything you have as far as thoughts on this subject, other things that you maybe don't like as much that you wish that they would fix. I know people are going to say quickscoping, but quickscoping isn't really an issue, to be honest, especially with how fast the guns kill in this game anyways. It's not that big of a problem. Anyways, those are just my thoughts on some of the things. I'm going to wrap it up here. I'll hopefully make another video tomorrow, talking about some of the things that I do enjoy about the game, because there are a lot of things that I do enjoy. So I'll talk to you guys a little later. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video and have a nice day. Bye-bye.